Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Hot Mic. We're sorry we weren't around last week. We were out in the UK for CWL Birmingham, but we're back. We've got an incredible episode now. It's the Stage 1 playoffs, $500,000 prize pool on the line for the top 8 teams. We had 16 teams compete across 2 divisions for the past, 3-4 months. Now all down to this point. It's going to be phenomenal, but let me introduce our guests. First off, to my left of Rise Nation, your champions at CWL Atlanta. We've got Loony. You were on Hot Mic a couple weeks back. You did an incredible job, and I'm excited to have you back, buddy.
Yeah, glad to be back as well. I mean, just glad to be back in Columbus, you know. This playoff is going to be fantastic, in my opinion. Yeah,
I'm ready for the environment. We're going to have fans in the building, a little bit different, obviously, than the regular matches. But how's the team feeling coming in here?
We're feeling good. I mean, obviously, Birmingham was kind of a disappointment losing that winners finals to LG, but you got to scratch it off and come back hot at playoffs is where it matters. It's probably, the biggest event we've had thus far.
Absolutely is. Absolutely is. Excited for it. We'll continue moving down the line. The young superstar, Attach of FaZe. Obviously not the result you wanted at the last event, but you guys able to shake it off, focus now for this weekend?
Definitely not, yeah. Last event was pretty tough for us, but like we said, shake it off. This is the biggest event of the year so far, so we play a lot better in Columbus, Ohio, so we're hoping to keep that up and hope to do big things in playoffs.
Back to the good old Colombo.
Yeah,
we're excited to be here. It's going to be fun. And then gracious enough to basically replace accuracy. He wasn't feeling well. He's under the weather of Team Caliber. Octane of LG, your champions at Birmingham. He's here.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for coming on. How you feeling?
Feeling great. Carrying momentum from Birmingham into this weekend. Happy to be on Hot Mic again, filling in for Lamar. I mean, it's feeling good.
Yeah,
happy to be.
Hey, thank you so much. Seriously, appreciate it. I know it was last minute, but you're a class act, Sam. Class act. All right, well, let's get into our first segment of the show. It's going to be the CWL debrief. We usually like to kick it off with kind of a play or something that stood out. And I'm sorry that we're going to have LG and Rise on here because you were victims to this, but I thought it was one of the more absurd things. So we're going to talk over while we play a clip. Splice during their run between the losers bracket final and then also into the grand final had four hard points in a row, which they outscored their opponents in the opening 100 seconds. It was like 400-41. They had 2 games which they started out 100-0. Loony, you fell victim to this first. This was the first 100-0 that happened on Valkyrie. What the hell was going on? Was this something with your team? Were they just on fire?
I think they were just on fire. I think this was fresh off a Game 5 round 11 win against Optic, in which, in one of those rounds, Bants 1v3'd them. So I think they just came out hot, won the break off, and then just kept their momentum rolling.
It was incredible. It's just I'd never really seen anything like it. And then do you remember what the second hard point was? We're gonna hop into that as well. But it ends up being a blowout. Is it? What are you thinking when you go down that early? You think like, hey, we can bring it back, or hey, map 2's next?
On Valk specifically, it's always you can bring it back map, I feel like. But other than that, it was just like, yeah.
Just rotate, get this next 60.
Yeah. I think that's usually your comp. That's your comp.
Well, if I remember correctly, that particular Valkyrie to kick it off, they had perfect ult in the first 2. Then you answered with a perfect ult on third, if I remember correctly, and you got right back in the game. But it was just such a big deficit early that you guys weren't able to do it. And then the next victim, Octane, thankfully you had 2 best of 5s. We'll take a look at the highlights from this. This is one of the biggest blowouts I've ever seen in the grand final in the history of Call of Duty.
No, thanks.
Good thing they ended up winning it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's common denominator is Valkyrie. Once you get going, it's like streaks come into play. Every hill is so easy to hold. So like, if we don't break a hill, then we get 6 points.
Did you consider not playing them on it after seeing them do that to Rise?
No, because we beat them on it in the league.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, we've watched them play throughout the weekend, so we were pretty confident on it. We were good at it, and then I mean, they just came out hot and destroyed us.
Well, you saw it was 12 points against you in the one, 29 against you. But yeah, in that period of them to get to 100 points, you guys put up 41. But that was just, you think overall, was that them just on a hot streak for you guys? That first series, was that just more, hey, we've been sitting around waiting, they're coming off a tear?
I think we just didn't expect them to come out like that. Jerd got streaks in the first 2 seconds of the game.
Well, what did you tell me? You said there was like an artillery on the second hard point?
The hill ended, and then we spawned a bunker, which is the building. I mean, I don't really know how to describe the map to you guys, but rotating into fire, we come around the corner, and there's just artillery, and just... All right, go around. And then he got I don't know.
Well, I'm curious, what did you guys talk about though after map 1? Like after
I started laughing.
250 to 60.
It happens.
You just got to shrug it off.
It's like the same thing. I think it was Anaheim last year. We got 5-1, came back on by Optic on Retellus and D, and I started laughing. I was like, it happened. We got 2 best of 5s to go. It's one map.
Well, that's part of the reason.
Respond in the Valk, and that's what we did.
Part of the reason you guys were probably able to take the victory, right? You're able to shake it off and move forward.
Composure, baby.
Yep, composure. Massive in that. But let's take a look at the overall placings from CWL Birmingham. We'll take a look at the top 8 overall. And we're going to talk through some of the teams, some of the performances there. Octane at $80,000. What are you spending your 20 grand on?
I don't know. Don't put me on the spot like that.
A new car, a new house. You could give it to me. Rise, you see in third. Attach back-to-back events where you're not going to be on this list, unfortunately. Hey, it's playoffs. You're guaranteed top 8.
Yes, thank God.
But now let's go. Not team by team exactly, but I do want to talk about some of the big players, and obviously your guys' team's here. So I do want to start with FaZe. You guys, you get 9th through 12th. I first want to talk about how many Game 5s in Round 11s did you guys ultimately have? Did you go back and see how many was throughout the weekend?
I believe it was like 4 or 5, so a lot of Game 5 Round 11s.
How many of those did you win?
Oh, I think 4 of them,
like
right?
2.
Oh, well, you only won 2 of those?
Actually, I don't know, 2 or 3.
Okay.
Well, does that?
Like
Do you think that starts to like obviously you're playing more COD, and maybe that's a good thing. But the problem is, is it bad in the fact that it's just high stress and you're in those moments, series to series, you kind of run out of gas, or do you think that hindered you at all playing all those long series?
No, it definitely didn't hinder us playing those long series. I just think in the moment where we could have won before it got to 5-5 Round 11 or Round 11, I think we could have just clutched up before and just won the series at like a nice 6-1, 6-2.
Well, what was the biggest, I guess, the biggest takeaway from you? You know, with the disappointing results, obviously, when you talked about it with the team after the fact, is there anything that really stood out that you guys need to kind of repair before this weekend? I know you didn't have a lot of time.
No, I just kind of talked about some of the maps, or what happened on some of the maps, things we could have done better, could have held the spawn here, could have done something like that. But no, just kind of getting ready for playoffs and just going to be watching some VODs of the other teams here.
Okay, well, we're almost there. We're going to be starting the matches soon, but we still have some stuff to chat about here. Team Caliber is a team I want to talk about next. You know, we know they go back-to-back victors. They then get top 8. Now they've fallen to top 12. It seems things might be off the rails a little bit, Danny. Anything that stood out for you why they're not seeing the success they once saw?
Of course you want to talk about Team K. TK.
It's your fault.
It's
your fault.
The Maven curse is a fake thing. It's
honestly,
it's real.
I think adding Val kind of made them a less dangerous team. You know, I think the very first event, a lot of people were playing Forest, a lot of people playing Jibby, and now with the Valk added, it's just like, I'm pretty sure if you see a stat, it's like Hardpoint Forest and Hardpoint Jibby are probably the most banned maps, and people are just relying on those 3 sub maps, and I think that's kind of what hurts them.
Well, we saw, I think the 2 that I haven't looked at the overall stats, but it seemed like it'd been Valkyrie and London Docks were the 2 that stood out for Hardpoint by a landslide. And I didn't see what it was overall, but I feel like I saw Gibraltar a handful of times, Ardent Forest not that much at all either. But I agree with your sentiment there, because they have, even when they got knocked out, the series I saw, like Kenny was dropping like 40 plus every hardpoint, but like who's that next sub that's going to also step it up?
That's the problem. Is on Docks, I think Chino runs it, but then on St. Marie, Lamar runs it. So
St. Marie, we didn't see
it
either.
One of them cannot just get really comfortable with a sub. You know what I mean?
Well, let's see if that's something they can work on. And again, it stinks because there's not a lot of time between you had Birmingham. Now we're here for playoffs. Yeah. So you basically came straight to Columbus. Next team I do want to talk about. Octane, we'll start with you. I want to talk overall about Optic. They finished 4th. They have the role change. Did you see some improvements there? Do you still think they're running into the same problems? What's going on with Optic?
Their respawn looked good, and then I think when it got to Sunday, their S&D kind of fell off. They were having problems even winning maps on Sundays on the other open events, and I mean, it took us to a Game 5. So, it's improvement nonetheless, but I think the role switch is definitely good for them. I think for some reason, everybody knows what they need other than them. It's like Matt is your AR player, and for some reason, he just always wants to run a sub. And then like they ended up switching like halfway through the year always, and then they get better. So for some reason, they're just ignorant to that fact. But I think where they are right now is probably the best that they're going to get.
And with them, I know we spoke, I think we talked in the back a little bit about the stat, but I thought it was interesting that at Atlanta, the only team that had a positive KD for all 4 players is Envy. They finished 4th. At Birmingham, the only team to have a positive KD for all 4 players, and this is from Reddit, so I hope it's accurate. All 4 players was Optic, and they finished 4th. Does that tell any kind of story about maybe what's going wrong with either of those teams, or just kind of one of those fluky stats?
Well, I mean, if you got those stats, I'm pretty sure Birmingham, when they were released, it was bracket only.
Yeah,
okay,
there was
well,
like
that's small. Okay,
yeah.
So not much behind that. All right,
not much behind that.
We'll continue moving on. The next team we're going to talk about is Rise. So you guys are coming off the big victory, obviously, at Atlanta. I know when I talked to you afterwards, you didn't even talk about the Splice series much, where your frustration stemmed from was the series in the winner's bracket final. Why ultimately do you not think that went your way, and maybe what could you have fixed and knocked?
I mean, Hardpoint, I think Sam destroyed us first map. I tried keeping up.
How many was it?
52.
You won by 30, but and then Game 2, it was about to be like a repeat of Atlanta Winners Finals. We won Game 2 and 3. We went into Hardpoint Valk with not like a blowout lead, but a comfortable lead where if we just play COD how you're supposed to, we could have closed out. That didn't end up going our way. And then Game 5, we knew that coming into like an event, like we're expecting it to play here. It's S&D Valk. We saw that they were trying to add that to their map pool because we're the best S&D team, so they're trying to catch us, and that was the first time we ever played it. And
well, hey, I agree with that. You guys were definitely trying to do some work in Division B.
yeah,
Sam. You guys,
they tried to play us on CTF Flag Tower.
Hey, but what happened when it counted?
That's true. That's true.
What happened when we lost London Docks S&D and Valk S&D every time we played it in the second half? What happened?
Yeah, no.
You ended up winning the event.
There it is.
You did it. You did it.
I mean, it's something we knew. Like, they came in, they played CTF Flag because they knew they couldn't beat us on Forest. They didn't beat us on that either. But, like, it's something you have to try.
No, I agree. I agree.
You have to try it, and they did it. And S&D Valk, I mean, they started off strong. I think you got streaks, or you or John got streaks early on.
And what?
And then in the S&D Valk Game 5.
Oh, John got streaks.
And then I 1v2.
Absolute world star.
Absolute garbage. And I think after that event, too, I thought we were going to have it, but then Zinni just didn't attempt to like him. And I kind of lost full. And
damn it, Zinni.
The reason I'll talk about the Splice was after we lose Winners Finals, we sat down, obviously, we're going to play losers, so we stayed in the setup, and I probably yelled at Zinni for like 20 minutes.
So it's one of those ones where like the frustrations from the recent match kind of carried into the next one for sure.
For sure.
It happens. I mean, it happens to anybody.
That's crazy. I beat you in 2 series. Wow.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's crazy, Dan.
In what?
Because you lose the other series, too. So
you say he beat you in 2 series.
I mean, we did the same at Atlanta. You got smoked by Red Reserve.
That's true.
I like this. I like this.
Oh, listen, this is what happens. We walked away from Black Ops through, 2 championships each. Yeah. I won an IW first.
We just keep catching each other.
Then they caught me. I took the lead again, and then they caught me again, him and Jerry.
So playoffs is going to be big then, because you two are definitely the favorites going into this. Yeah. It'll be awesome to see. One more question for you. What was it like? I guess you could say you guys were blessed a little bit to get into the champ bracket. Obviously, after the series of the United, you didn't know you were going to be playing it. You were in bed. Can you kind of talk me through that whole scenario? Because I thought it was interesting.
So we were the first team to play the open team on Saturday. It was Cyclone, PD, Quicker. We call it kind of like a tier 3 European team. We went in and we 3-0'd them. They were close maps, so we still had faith that they can upset either Echo Fox or United at the time. And then we sat in the player lounge. We watched them play Echo Fox. Echo Fox 3-0'd them. We're like, all right, let's go get food. We go to Nando's, get our food. As we're walking back to the hotel, TJ looks at us like, oh, dude, United's up 1-0 on them. So we're like, they're going to get 3-0'd again. I get to my hotel room. I was going to go nap. I was literally in bed, ready to nap, lights off. My phone lights up to Tej, and he's like, yo, Cyclone just won the S&D. It's like, all right, might as well watch. They won the CTF Flag Tower, and then they went up like 100 points on the Hardpoint Docks. I literally instantly texted the team, everyone get your stuff ready. We're heading to the venue.
What a change in emotion. Like, we're going to bed. We're not getting a winner's bracket after winning an event. And
like, if you come out like losers round 3, that's like the most wait because you have to wait for the losers bracket to advance. So we're not thinking we're going to play till like 10-11. So I'm like, yeah, everyone just nap.
It would have been, last place in the pool to second, right? Is how it ended up working out?
First.
No, we would have gone 3rd to 1st.
Oh,
United dropped 1st to 4th.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, that was the big drop. I remember like looking at the scenarios and like the drops you would have or the jumps were just absolutely unreal. Well, let's keep moving on though. I do want to talk a little bit about Splice. Playing in front of the home crowd. Where was this Splice team? Attach, we can start with you. Like, obviously they've been struggling. Like, there's some questioning they should have a team change. We thought things were falling apart, and then Splice come out with a vengeance here.
Yeah, Splice, they really turned it up at Birmingham because when they were in Ohio to try and qualify for playoffs, we 3-0'd them. They were kind of getting, I think they got 3-0'd by United as well, so they were getting smoked. And then at Birmingham, they came out in front of the home crowd and just showed everyone up and turned up and did their thing.
You think there's, I guess I'm curious to all of you guys here, is there more to it? Like, I know Bance picked it up. Like, was it just the home crowd, the energy?
Well, I mean, Bance tweeted out himself that was like the best event he's had since, like, in 2 years.
Yeah, no, he was front.
I mean, we came out and we played them Sunday morning and we 3-0'd them. And then they came back. Like, I think after that they played Reckless for their top 4 spot. Then they played Octane and they just caught fire. And Matcat was not losing in his hometown.
Euros love the losers bracket.
Euros love beating Optic out of a tournament.
That is true.
What is it? The Splice has knocked him out twice?
Splice.
And
that is insane.
I remember going into, I think it was going into Champs last year, there was a stat that Optic had only lost, that 4-man group had only lost to a European team once. And now they've been knocked out 4 times in a row. That's kind of unreal.
You hate to hear that.
Well, it's becoming a pattern now since it's been every single major. I do want to talk to you a little bit just about Luminosity winning it all, you know, the grand finals, and then just John winning MVP. What was that moment like for you? Because I know you've tweeted out that it's been frustrating how many like second place finishes you have. You get the victory, you get it in front of that crowd. How special was that for you?
It felt good. You know, the crowd was insane. I wasn't really mad that they were cheering for Splice as they should have been, but I think once we won and they cheered for us, it was like a validation kind of. It was just playing in front of that was absolutely insane. You know, the Shut Up Maven chant, always a good time.
That was incredible.
John getting MVP was great too. You know, he underperformed in Atlanta, and I think it was a really big personal accolade for him to be able to bounce back the way that he did, to have an absolutely incredible weekend. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy we won. You know, I jumped down after we won. You know, I took pictures of everyone, and they were all cool. So there's no bad blood.
No, that was.
I mean,
awesome.
weren't they saying GG LG?
Yeah, we're going to show a clip,
cool.
kind of some of the stuff the crowd was doing, because it was really amazing. But I do want to first talk about real fast before we get to just kind of how amazing the crowd was. If you didn't see it, I do want to talk about the surprises. So we had Reckless and Pandas both come out. Lightning Pandas.
Dog Sensor Martin.
Both get top 8. I guess just kind of thoughts overall. Like, were you guys shocked that they did it, or did you know they had the potential to make a run like that?
Well, I mean, I knew Reckless kind of had internal issues. I'm not going to touch on it much, but I think they went in with, like, nothing to lose, and then they just played the best Call of Duty they've played, probably.
That fuels teams.
Well, it's like a united Atlanta in a way.
I was scared to play Echo Fox, because they're coming in with a feeling, so they're like, nothing to lose. I'm glad we played them first, because they turned up. They came out in winners.
TR.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Sam?
Like, at Anaheim last year, we were going to, like, everyone knows we were going to drop Nato, and we won the event. He played.
Oh, I remember that. He had like his best event. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
unbelievable. And then you kept him on the team after that, right?
Yeah, it's just like
and then dropped him after the year.
I
don't know. It's a weird thing. Like, if there's internal issues, sometimes it breeds success, which is like weird to say.
No,
like Cole hated each other, and they were godlike.
I can understand that. I do want to ask one thing with you. Like, you guys ultimately got knocked out by Pandas, right?
Yeah.
Was that interesting? Was there a little trash talk there with Sensor? Because I know he's with FaZe. Like, there were rumors he was maybe going to be on the team at one point. Like, how'd that all go down at the end of the series?
Honestly, when we played Pandas on Sunday, the team morale was really low. So going into it, it just wasn't looking good, unfortunately.
Was the team morale low, or did Doug smoke you?
Doug just smoked us. That's why we lost.
I
heard double 40s in the hard points.
On the 4th map, they went off, yeah.
I tweeted, I heard about the double 40s. I actually didn't cast Lightning Pandas at all, because they come through open bracket.
Yeah.
A lot of times we just don't see them, because I'm usually casting the winners bracket matches. And I think I tweeted at Brian Sain or something along the lines of, Sensor was smoking people, he was dominating. And someone responded with like a clip of the bottom 4 KDs at the event. He has like a .81 or something. I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe it was actually just typical Sensor. And he had a couple good maps.
He had a few good maps versus us too. Yeah, he played pretty well, so I got to give him his credit.
Well, he stepped up. I mean, that was probably a bit of a grudge match to him in some ways, I would think.
That definitely was.
He was going
see
hard.
the reaction.
Doug was going hard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move it on. The next thing I do want to talk about is just some clips kind of from the crowd, because the Birmingham crowd was incredible, guys. I've been to a couple European events. This is one of the craziest crowds I've seen. Can we roll some of these? I think the first one's just like an overall clip kind of from the crowd. Oh, that's the Shut Up Maven one. Thanks, production. This is the Shut Up Maven one.
That Maven leading the charge.
That was Benson. Benson dead in the
Dude, Ben had a beer in his hand, and he was in the middle of it all, dude. He's created a mosh pit in the middle.
So just to clarify, if you didn't watch the final, basically anytime I would. Well, where did it start? I think anytime Splice got in the hard point, basically they'd start cheering. Anytime LG got in the hard point, they'd start booing. When I basically, anytime I mentioned Octane or LG, it was just Shut Up Maven for 2-3 hours. Anytime I mentioned an LG player, at one point I was like, I gotta stop talking about LG. Obviously I couldn't, it's my job, but I was like, every time, just shut up, Maven. There was 40 people screaming at me in the bathroom at one point. Try going to pee after waiting 2 hours. You have to pee desperately, and there's just like this "shut up, Maven" over and over again. It's difficult, but I powered through.
That's too good. They're too passionate. I love it out there.
Well, speaking of passion, I think we have another clip from the crowd, just really getting into it. I think this is from our buddy Momo. It was awesome.
You're that clear as day when we're on main stage.
Yeah,
like,
that
your
was,
comms started getting flustered because it's like you cannot hear each other.
What's it like playing with that? Just like
first map when Jerk got his shrieks, I lost immediate full. The crowd was just, "Let's go, Jerk! Yes!" They were just screaming. I'm like, "Guys, rotate." Oh, okay, can't hear you. Never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Artillery.
Can't hear each other.
That's insane. I mean, I'm sure they were dealing with it as well. At least it's fueling them some.
But a good feeling though is when you silence the crowd.
Well,
that's a good time.
You did silence the crowd. I mean, the second best of 5, it went from like the room was electric to. I mean, I honestly felt because it's not like bias isn't a thing with casters. This is where people get confused sometimes. Like, I don't care who wins. We want incredible series. And the other main thing is, like, sometimes people confuse crowd noise. Like, I've been accused of being an Optic fanboy because, well, it turns out when I am not. It turns out when Optic's doing well,
formal fan.
I do love formal.
Okay.
When Optic's doing well, they have such a large crowd that usually the crowd's nuts. So every time there's a big play, it's elevated because the crowd's going nuts. And even there, a little bit of me became like a Splice fanboy because every time they make a big play, it's just like, I don't know, you play to your environment. If every time I talk, Splice is like, wow, the crowd goes nuts, it's just kind of, I mean, it's cool for everybody.
Hypes you up.
When they started to fall off, like, because obviously I casted with Joe for a solid, I mean, what was that, 3.5 hours for that?
That was a long time.
When I had so much energy when the crowd was going, but when it fell off in the second best of, I felt myself start to like fall off a little bit because the crowd started losing. I'm like, okay, I need this series to end. But I do want to show something. Props to the crowd as well. Yes, they were booing. Yes, there were a lot of chants, but we did get a clip of them when LG took it at the end.
Look at Sam. Like, I'm glad that's over.
Bro, I was
hands behind his head. Like, damn.
Thank God they stopped booing.
If that went Game 5, it was getting tough.
Well, I did love how quickly they turned them.
Yeah.
The chance for John as MVP to the chance for you guys also taking it. But
that's probably the best crowd.
That'd be a pretty cool moment. Best ever, you think, for you?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Like, it wasn't even for us, but that was, in terms of like overall atmosphere, it was definitely the best crowd I've ever played in front of.
Is it still, so even though they were cheering predominantly for Splice, is it still more fun of an environment for you?
I would rather them be screaming for somebody. Like, be excited about Call of Duty. Like, I'm happy.
They seem like Call of Duty fans. Like, they love Splice because it's their hometown heroes, but they like Call of Duty and our hype. Even when they chanted GGs to them, it's like they just love a good Call of Duty game.
That was awesome. I loved it, and it was amazing. But let's now shift focus kind of from CWL Birmingham now on to the $500,000 Stage 1 playoff that we have here. We'll move forward with Pro League Declassified. The first thing we're going to take a look at, guys, is going to be the matchups. We're going to go through, obviously we can't go too deep into it. We're just going to talk about the first 4 matchups at least. And I looked at them, I think it was yesterday, and I got pumped like for this weekend because sometimes it's tough as a caster when you cast matches that maybe aren't as thrilling. That is not going to be the case this weekend. Every single matchup should be incredible. So you take a look at it's Rise Nation, United, Luminosity, Red Reserve at the top. And on the bottom, the Optic Gaming Team Envious, FaZe Clan Team Caliber at the bottom. Real quick before we hop off this and sort of talk about each one, do you think it's pretty balanced, or do you think one side of the bracket's a little bit harder?
Top side.
I think top side is infinitely harder.
We have 2 champions up there.
Yeah, well, I mean, Team Caliber has 2 championships as well, but obviously they're not the same form, though.
And they're the first team. They're one team. We're 2 teams up there.
That's true. That's true. Okay, well, let's go matchup by matchup. The first one, we're going to kind of talk X factors, keys to success, just sort of go through it. I know I would love to get into like vetoes and different stuff, but I don't want to give away strategies and whatnot, so we won't go that deep into it. But let's start with Rise Nation versus United. So we can talk to you and get their thoughts as well. Overall, what's the biggest thing here? Because they did come out and pool play in 3-0 you after some banter back and forth on Twitter I saw. But they come out, they 3-0 you. In that particular series in pool play at Birmingham, whoa, what the hell happened there? Because I think that shocked everybody.
I think they wanted it more. I think them 3, or as a team, they've struggled. And then to go up against a major champion, reigning major champion, I think they wanted it more. And then more so, I think the other 3 wanted to be gunless and kind of like...
That was the first time they played, right?
Yeah, that's the first time they played.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of crazy that took that long for them to play for the first time.
Yeah, other than that, I think it's just Tej, I think, and our X Factor are like our hard carry kind of underperformed. But
well, he didn't have the best event. I mean,
he lost full.
Anybody watching we'll put
multiple turn-ons.
Take a look,
especially when we thought we were going to come out like losers after that. We're just
we're shooting bodies.
That's not against us. That's United.
Okay. We were just taking a look at some of the from United. For you, I want to ask you guys afterwards what you think the key to success is for United, but I'm curious for you, like for you guys just going and handle business, what do you need to do to beat United and get that first match underway?
Come out and win first map. Don't let Clay start yelling, talking about that's what we need or let's go. Like, if you just come out and win first map, we just have to then shut our cities down in S&D.
So don't give them a chance to get hyped, basically. Don't give and they've lost that
They're
game.
They're like a momentum team.
They're the momentum team.
Any Clay team I feel like is, but this one specifically really seems to have something.
Especially with like the struggles they've had.
Well, for you guys, anything to add maybe for the United side that you think they could come in and get another upset, another victory like they did at Birmingham?
I really think it just depends on how Arcees and Pristini play, because they're going off and then Clay hyping them up and Clay doing his thing. I think they'll be doing pretty well. So as long as Danny said they win first map, that will probably shut them down. But you never count them out in S&D because R-Cities might go off. So just kind of really shutting the hype down quick.
Well, R-Cities, especially here in Columbus, search has been nuts. I feel like
Same with TJ.
He goes for like double digits, both of them. Yeah, go for like double digits. It seems like every search. Another guy that's been dominating in search, he had the highest KD after I think the first 2 weeks of Division B, if I remember correctly. But anything to add to this, maybe for United, like just something they can do to get this upset.
It's a combination. I think they underperformed, and like Danny said with TJ, and just don't let one of them go off. Don't, like, first map, don't let Clay drop like 40 or Alec, and then that's when they start screaming, like they both said, and that's when the series gets difficult. I think, you know, if you come out just a comfortable first map, that's like the easiest time that you can beat them for sure. And then you know, just don't let Alec drop 17 in S&D.
Yeah, no, which he's done a couple of times, I think, already. All right, let's move on to the next one. So it's gonna be Luminosity then versus Red Reserve. This is a big match, kind of going back to Atlanta, obviously, where they made that deep run all the way to second. You guys played in the losers bracket final, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys have had some history.
It was a brief series.
It was a brief series.
30-minute series.
It's basically what Splice did to you guys, right? Like kind of like a 3-0 in that similar spot. But yeah, that's true. You did win a map. For Luminosity versus Red Reserve, from you, first off, coming off the success you just had, like, do you expect any letdown for your team, considering like you just got to enjoy that first place finish, or are you ramped up and ready to go?
I think we 3-0'd them back, so I think that's definitely in their heads that, you know, them doing what they did at Atlanta isn't like a one-time thing. So also we kind of played into their vetoes a little bit at Atlanta. Cap, he's not allowed to do vetoes by himself anymore. That's all I'm gonna say. And I think we kind of figured it out, played them at Birmingham, and we got things figured out for now. You know, they may have switched things up in the couple of days off that they have, but I'm pretty confident against them right now.
So, LG, feeling good? I mean, kind of hard not to.
Always feeling good.
The victory was 4 days ago. Always feeling good? Always looking good.
Oh, my goodness.
It's getting weird on the show now. All right, let's talk about the Red Reserve side of things then to you two. They did not have a great showing. There wasn't that magical losers bracket run that we maybe thought was possible. What do you think they need to do, Loony, to come out here and maybe get an upset over Luminosity?
I mean, just play the game that they've played in America. Don't play what you played in the UK. I mean, they lost full early. They had the opening match against Splice, and instantly I'm pretty sure there was tweets from players and stuff. You know, losing full. I'm not gonna say what it was here, but
just sometimes
people know. But
focus on the game.
I think as soon as they lost that Splice match, they instantly just stopped playoffs. That's all they care about, playoffs. Yeah. So I definitely do see them coming back and playing LG tough. Like, I mean, Cap always says all the main part about Atlanta was just them running primed, and LG's gonna run prime back. I mean, it's not like they run it better.
Primed.
Yeah, so
I remember the slack back
match.
And forth with 0.
I don't expect like a 3-0 on either side. I expect a tough, good match.
Very close series.
Nice try, 3-0.
A series Red can win, Attach?
They have a chance. They definitely have a chance. This is their first series back after like a poor performance. They're feeling good back on they're back in Columbus, Ohio.
It's funny how bad they all were like excited to get to Europe for an event, and then they were all excited to get back to the States. Like,
this place stinks. Oh, brother.
I do have one question for you though. You mentioned at one point, just kind of an offhand remark. I don't know if it was too serious, but I asked you about going to Birmingham because at the time I wasn't excited about the travel either because I've been flying every single week for 3-4 months, and you were just like, we're going there, we're gonna have fun, we're focused on playoffs.
Yeah.
Did that sort of change once you got there though?
Yeah. Once we hit Sunday, we were like, all right, let's just mess around with the event real quick.
That's how we were.
I think everyone was kind of like a prep for playoffs mindset until you got into a position to actually take the tournament. I think it makes sense. Like kicked it into another gear. But I think another interesting thing is every one of these matchups played each other in pool play. So I think you learned a lot as a precursor to this weekend. I think there's going to be a lot of mix-ups. There's going to be a lot of things that each individual first matchup learned. I mean, I know I learned a lot about Red. They probably learned a lot about us. So
the next one's a good example. You've got Optic versus Envy. Optic versus Envy played in pool play. Optic versus Envy then played in the losers bracket as well. I believe we're both 3-1 victories for Optic, maybe a 3-0, 3-1.
I think 3-1.
I think they're both 3-1.
Yeah, because Envy free smoked in first match.
Oh yeah, that's right. They blew them out on docks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was no, it was docks. Never mind, don't listen.
Let's just talk a little bit, I guess, about this particular matchup. You know, Optic in the past has gotten by on the fact they're a very slay-heavy team. We know how skilled those 4 players are. Envy at times, absolutely a team that can match them toe for toe when you're just talking about guns. We know how much talent's there. Why do you think this is a series that keeps going to Optic Gaming?
You take it.
Either of you, whoever.
Can't beat Optic.
Donnie, whoa, okay.
Storylines.
Okay.
He hasn't beat Optic once. AW, World War
Really?
II.
I didn't know that.
He's never beat him. But I mean, if there's ever a chance to beat him, it's now, right? First tournament, biggest tournament yet. I mean, it's when you show up and you beat him. That's just as simple as that. But I think Usually Envy should be taking the S&Ds. I mean, I think Austin's one of the best S&D players, good strategists and stuff like that. And then you just need talent against talent. I mean, they just have to all step up.
Well, what's different about, so they just beat them twice at the big open event, obviously, crazy crowd, everything like that. But now coming here, yes, we're going to have a crowd. We're going to have several hundred people in the arena. It's going to be amazing. But it's still not quite the same environment as an open tournament. And then Attach for you guys, FaZe has seen like a lot of success here in Columbus, maybe not as much recently in the open tournament. Is it different? Is it just a mental thing, or like is there some key differences between competing here and at a major tournament?
Maybe we get nervous at major tournaments. So hopefully we don't get too nervous here. Come on, do our thing.
FaZe is nervous.
Attach has been competing for 5 years. He's still getting nervous?
Yeah, hopefully that we don't get too nervous here and do our thing.
Guy's shaking in his boots. Pathetic.
That's not the answer I expected at all, but that's all right.
It was a good one.
Maybe we just suck.
Maybe that's the answer. We just suck.
Not until Columbus fails us.
Yeah, okay.
At that point, maybe.
You still got Division B, first place.
Yep. Columbus, Ohio.
Any extra thoughts on Optic versus Envy, though? How you think that series is going to go? Like,
I don't even know.
Well, because what is it? I've heard a lot of times, like in major sports, if you play a team like, let's say you play a team 3 times in a row, it's like really difficult to beat that team 3 times in a row. Like more often than not, eventually one of the teams is going to get a victory, right? So like, is this maybe where it happens? Like Optics beat Envy twice this past weekend. Now this is where Envy takes it on the biggest
Maybe
stage.
Optic goes into it like, we already beat them a bunch of times in the past, so maybe we're going to smoke them again.
I hope you
Envy
don't have that
goes
mindset for
hard,
this playoff, but
yeah.
Envy's more motivated to beat Optic.
Envy just doesn't have that series where like all 4 are just frying.
That doesn't happen.
Like one of them's always just lacking.
Well,
like they end up with good KDs, but that's because like in one series one guy drops off, but then in the next series he's the hard carrier. Like they just need all the 4 to just come in and fire.
I do have a question for you, and I know you guys always say commentators talk too much about stats and blah blah blah. Sorry, I mean I like stats. I like somebody going on.
Nothing else
rushing,
going on
but,
up there anyway.
But I do. That's true. There's nothing. It's just play by play and a couple stats here and there. But no, somebody I think someone on the Reddit posted like the overall KDs to this point, and what stood out to me is it was pretty much all ARs or someone that at least played an AR at some point, like a Formal that's gone back and forth, or a Krem that's gone back and forth. But then Temp was like in that like top 10. He was like if I remember correctly, like the highest sub by kind of like a decent margin.
Well, I think at Dallas he ran AR a couple.
Is that maybe what it was? Okay.
I think that I remember him being like the flex player for a little bit.
I think at Dallas he was
right?
flexing.
Yeah,
he was.
Well, I was more actually asking if that's like a problem. Like, is it weird that he's like so much higher?
Well, the thing is, like before the year, I remember like talking to Donnie. Obviously, he's coming in and he's just like, I just really like teaming with Nick because is there ever a map I want to change my role, he's open to do the other thing.
That is true. Nick's pretty good when it comes to that. He'll let you do what you want to do.
But I don't know if it's gelling as good as they thought here. I think they just probably need like a flex and that's it. Like Donnie, you're a full-time sub.
I think that's what creates the issues in this game is if you don't know what you want to do. If you don't, like, Optic, for example, they've had role issues. Envy's having role issues. TK.
Sort of,
like, they don't know.
At one point, they put Kyler as a flex. I'm pretty sure at
He
one
ran
point, AR was like on Jibby, right?
It was like a
on Gibraltar.
And it's just like, that's when you have your issues. You literally you need to pick one and just do it. Get good at that. Like, I think that's where your issues are.
FaZe hasn't had role changes, so just you guys are good. You guys have all the pieces. Just start winning.
Now we're just waiting.
Just start winning.
Yeah, exactly. We just gotta start winning. We just gotta start winning. That's what
I
we're
actually
gonna
don't get it. I don't get it. I picked you guys to win Birmingham.
Stop getting nervous.
I feel like you're gonna make this run. Like you have a tournament winning. You just do it. It's been 3 years.
It's been a long time.
All right, so you can say it to him and I say it to Clay, and it's like,
you're a bad person. Maven is okay.
Oh, did you do that recently on Twitter or something? I'll tell Clay.
It's on Recon.
I literally told him to his face.
Recon.
I missed that. I watched the Recons in the venue a bit.
Nah, the Recon doesn't show that.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
I love it.
Thank God.
I love the Recons. Well, speaking of FaZe, though, let's move into the FaZe versus TK match. So you have 2 teams here struggling, obviously. You got top 12. TK got top 12. I think everyone can agree that they are both championship caliber teams in the sense of the talent they have on their roster. TK's obviously already won 2 tournaments. Before we go to Attach, I just kind of want to hear your guys' thoughts. We'll start with you, Octane. Just thoughts kind of overall on the FaZe versus TKs. I think that might be the hardest one.
Look at that, man.
I think that's the hardest one to call of the 4.
I would also say that because we have match up issues against FaZe. They've beat us the last couple of times. And we can beat TK, I don't want to say easily, but pretty easily.
You smoked him at the...
Don't want to say easily.
Listen, Dan, I'm building storyline. And then TK plays FaZe in pool play, and what, you guys got 3-0'd?
No, we lost round 11 last match.
Oh, yeah, never mind. They got 3-0'd. I mean, like...
It's just like a 3-0, same thing.
You can sit up here and ask us to analyze every single series, and there are very, very few series that you can definitively pick a winner.
No, I get, and I know, I understand that. That's why I just kind of want to
like,
just
it
talk about overall thoughts.
It's literally that day. That day.
It is.
Those maps. Whatever the 8.
what you had for breakfast.
Exactly.
They're cracked. Isn't that how it, in a way, that's like how it should be when you have the top 18?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, anybody should be able to beat anybody in a way.
It is true, but I don't know. I enjoy like being able to just go into a series and pick your better team. You're gonna win.
Yeah.
See, I feel like I could eat. Like for me, I would pick Rise. I'd pick Luminosity. I'd pick Optic. The fourth one, I don't know.
I can't believe I said he got 3-0 knowing Game 5 round 11.
Yeah.
All his series.
So
you guys go deep.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that you guys go deep in series with TK, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I think it's just like it's obviously who shows up first, but it's preparation too. Like you can prepare for a team in this game.
I don't think people realize how heavy map vetoes.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Vetoes are huge.
Slacked was on the show, and we talked about it at length. Like how since Valkyrie's come in, how big of a deal that is.
That's
because you can't.
Hard because they brought it up, and I never really thought about it.
Well, you remember when we came back for like our 2 weeks, it was the addition of Valk, and TK came out and played hardpoint Valk, and then we ended up 3-0ing them. And it's one of those things where it's all like they're probably not a strong Valk team, so they have to start vetoing that. But then you just play them on Docs.
See, that's the thing though, because they've played London Docs CTF one time this entire year ever on LAN.
I thought JP tweeted that they haven't played it yet.
That's what I mean. They played
Zero.
it once.
I thought
they played it once.
Oh, it is once?
I'm pretty sure it's one time.
Okay. Well, 0 or 1, it's still absurd.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's immediately you know what they're going to veto. If you're better than them at Forest or Flak, Game 3's over.
The thing is, versus TK, we played them in Birmingham. We played them first map Gibraltar. We won by like 100 points. So that's one of the maps where I think they felt like
they'd want to
comfortable playing that. But since we beat them by 100, they might not want to play that again.
Yeah, that's what Sam's talking about. You play your playoff team at Birmingham, so now it's like they're going to come. They might veto that.
Their mind.
I think that's something for those watching home. I talked to Ethan, the producer, and the stats team after this. Just make sure we all the stats from pool play, like all the game modes they played.
That's a talking point for the analysts. See what maps the matchups played, and then see what they played.
See what their vetoes. Yeah.
Okay. One last thing before we move on to the player intel segment. I do want to ask and you don't have to talk about anything you're not allowed to, but just overall, obviously we have Stage 1 playoffs for the 500 grand. Then right after is Roster Mania, and I have a feeling this isn't going to be like that moment last year before Anaheim where a lot could have happened and didn't. I think stuff's going to go down. Like I think it has to because there's so many glaring issues with teams.
Get your popcorn.
This is like the only time during the year.
Get your popcorn. Have Twitter on the main screen and just scroll.
It's going to be amazing. Do you want to talk maybe just about teams that we think absolutely need it? Anyone jumps to your mind that like really needs a team change to do something?
EG.
EG's probably a number one. Just they're not even here at playoffs. I mean, E United, depending on how they perform here. I think Echo Fox is probably a good one.
That's what did you think about them with Nagafen versus Saints?
It's one of those things again, like I talked about earlier. They went in with nothing to lose, so you can't really like push that now. That like say they pick up Nagafen and they scrim every single day with them, then things change. So I think it was one of those things where it's like we came in with nothing to play. Like Yuli before, it's like I'm going on vacation.
But what about teams maybe you expect maybe not to make a change but could, like maybe a Team Caliber, a team that went first, 8th, 12th. Is there a chance like a top team like that might? I think
like something? Envy is a good one too.
That's true.
Definitely.
I mean, you know, Austin tweeted after every event. Like pathetic. I haven't won in years. How the hell haven't I won in years?
I was thinking about this the other day. Do you remember? I think it was last year. He tweeted Donnie the GIF. It was like, "Baby, come back" or something.
No, wasn't it Kyler? He did that after Anaheim when they played.
Yeah, it was somebody. And now it's just like, oh,
get away from.
Oh, brother.
Well,
that's just the irony of that.
Do you? Is it something where you think a lot of stuff's already in the works, or something where once the first domino drops, everything's
a domino effect?
It's waiting for that one team.
Especially with like contracts and stuff. Like say a team pulls a player from another team, now they have to make a change, and that's where I think the domino effect comes into play.
As soon as the first one happens, start refreshing.
So can we pretty much guarantee it's going to be a wild time? I mean, it has to be, right? Like there's no way.
There's levels to it.
Maybe not before Seattle, but potentially there's probably going to be some changes before Seattle, but before Stage 2.
I thought the roster lock is before Seattle.
There's 2 roster locks.
There's 2 roster locks.
April 16th for playoff teams like us here, and then it's like April 13th for the other team, something like that.
Gotcha. Okay. So
no, it's something like that. And then
there's
it's May
one after
7th.
Seattle?
Yeah, there's May 7th for Stage 2.
So there might be some before Seattle and then some after, or maybe some before Seattle. They're like, wow, we still suck. And then again, going into the play or Season 2.
It can definitely get crazy. I mean, people want to win, you know?
No,
or
I'm
it could not get crazy and nothing could happen, and we'll be back here on this conversation in like 3 weeks.
I just don't think that's.
We'll be back next year. And last year.
See, that's what people were saying last year too, though.
No, but last year I feel like there was so little time.
You only had like a window.
You had like a week before Anaheim, wasn't it? It was like no time to do anything. Now
and the domino didn't happen that everyone expected.
That is true. That didn't happen.
I think it has. I think something has to happen. Yeah. Just there's too many teams that like don't have a chance to win right now, in my opinion. Like something has to happen. But we'll see. I'm excited for it, and that's going to follow right after Stage 1 playoffs, and then potentially again after Seattle. We'll have to see how it all breaks down. But let's go to our next segment. It's going to be player intel. We're going to talk about more lighthearted stuff. We've obviously dove in quite a bit to Birmingham and also to the Stage 1 playoff. First thing first, we're going to bring up a tweet from Loony, and this is just more because I want to talk about it because I went there 5 times. Made it up until this point. Now it's time to sleep. Looking forward to some Nando's once again tomorrow. How many times did you eat Nando's?
I think I was only like 4 times.
Yeah.
Only? I think I went 5.
Like
only 4.
Friday or Saturday, I wasn't able to
We met
go.
there twice before they opened.
Yep. We were there ready. We were there
I'm not even
ready.
kidding. Okay, I need to. The Nando's at the Resort World.
It was dry.
You
Chicken was
jackasses.
dry.
No, not just that. In America, if you say you open 11:30, you better goddamn open at 11:30.
Yeah.
Time of the
They opened late both times, like 11:40 and 11:45. We had like 10 of us gamers there.
And you still sat there and you ate it with a smile on your
I
face.
absolutely did. I dumped the extra spicy hot sauce.
Yep.
What's it called? The peri-peri.
Peri-peri
extra
salted
Yeah.
chips, though.
Yeah.
I like the
Those
garlic.
are
Now a
I'm
question:
garlic breader.
Is it overrated?
Yeah.
I love it.
No,
Not for Europe, for America.
Yes.
We have way too
European
much options
food
here.
is. I'm not offending the whole continent right now. European food sucks.
It's trash.
Oh my
It is
God.
horrible. Oh my God. But I think Nando's is just like that
The
glowing
closest to America
that
thing.
just glowing egg.
it
that
reminds me-
It's so
It
beautiful.
reminds
then-
me of like Chipotle. Like it's
incredibly average.
It's like average.
But
it's like good for its money.
It's
good
better than
price,
everywhere
average
else.
fills you up.
I don't know about good for its money. That's pretty
Wait,
pricey.
but the
actually,
sauce.
actually, it's
The
like
sauce
double
is
the
good.
price of
It's
Chipotle.
like,
or
yeah,
something.
it's
Clint,
I expense it.
I had-
it could
I had
be though, because
Subway
like
and
we don't
Nando's
like Europe probably has
10
good
times.
food. We just
You-
don't experience the local places.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. I went to
That's
don't
why,
really
like,
have
I'm with
like,
him.
I guarantee
You
you
don't have
Sam's
much
about
time
to
to
get
go out.
mad tweets when this like.
probably. You haven't been to this
yeah,
place
yeah,
in London,
yeah.
you horrible human being.
But
Yeah.
I don't have time to.
Okay, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we got in. What was
I go
it?
to and from the hotel.
Day one, I think. So we got in, we were jet lagged. We had to be in for the opening rehearsal to test audio, and it was a new production team. We had to figure out a lot of stuff. So we were in at, I think 10:30 or 11. I got back to the hotel at 12:30, and like after midnight. Like I didn't have time to go anywhere. Like I ate breakfast quick, and then I went there. Like that's all there is to it. Trust me, we'd all love to explore.
The breakfast, though. The breakfast in Europe is good. All the
is true.
hotels in the
That is
morning.
true.
We're all
I'll give
jet
that-
lagged, waking up super early, meeting down at the
6:30
diner.
a.m.
The breakfast is amazing over there.
I'll give them that.
That's one thing.
Have you guys ever stayed at the what's the hotel we stayed at in Cologne? I think it's a Hyatt Regency.
I think I stayed there.
The breakfast there,
It was
oh my
amazing.
God,
I was
there's
there
a
for
whole-
Gamescom, right?
Yes,
It
there's
was
like a whole
so
room of
good.
meats and
It was
cheeses.
so
and
good.
The
fruits.
ESWC breakfast at Paris last year was godlike.
Yeah, that
I'd say
was
the
good.
bread.
All of them are good in Europe.
Infinity's good, yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So there we go. We took it negative.
Europe, we like your breakfast.
Brought it back with some positive.
Everything else
Full
sucks.
English.
All right, next up, we have a clip that you knew was going to be coming. Oh, wait. Okay, no, this is okay. Ain't nobody talking about how it's the trio's first time playing gunless since he left. So I want to actually talk through this. So this is the tweets I was referring to earlier in this. Methods then replies to this, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. 30-minute series.
Why would they hype up a 30-minute
He
series?
was right.
He was right. It was indeed a 30-minute series.
Just,
Right.
just the
Never
other
said-
way.
He bet me $1,000 at the bar that they would 3-0 them this weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
noted.
I like that.
Storylines.
And then Clay said, I don't know, tell me after he hit the 3-0. Are you guys looking for a little revenge after some trash talk after that,
They
after that
have
series in
to.
pool play?
Oh, Danny.
They have to be.
100%.
Dan is pissed.
I'm heated.
He's gonna be throwing down.
I let him have it.
Series.
Thank God he didn't show my tweets. I should have deleted
You
them.
still got the champ bracket. Oh, God.
I
Chris.
tweeted him.
My producer. We should have got those.
I tweeted Clay quite a bit. I had to apologize because TJ set me up for failure.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, T shot bodies first.
Speaking
Yeah.
of TJ, we saw him shoot bodies, and we also saw him shoot nothing. This is the Clayster turning on TJ clip, which I thought was one of the funnier clips of the weekend. So here's TJ.
I've probably seen this 25
Okay,
times.
so right here, I plant the bomb. He tells me, "Don't peek anything," and I die. And I think
Danny's
that's why I got turned
also
on.
0-8 up to this point.
Yeah, I go 0-9. So I die there. And
Hopped
he
out the
just,
window.
I think he lost.
Oh, brother.
Oh,
Here
just watch
comes.
it. Oh, God.
Oh, he hit him twice. I heard he didn't hit him at all.
Oh, he tickled him a little bit.
See, you just got to aim in. Wow. That's not even.
Did that tilt him for the weekend?
No, he was already tilted.
So before that, okay. So
That was
So that was
We
like
went
that.
Game 5, round 11, which is that long. He's walking off the stage. That was the hardest series I've ever had to play. Like, this is the hardest COD. Every gunfight is hard. Like, he lost full. I'm telling you, we thought we were gonna be in losers, and then we somehow got third.
Is he gonna bounce back this weekend? We're gonna get the
100%.
TJ Haley we
Yeah,
expected.
if we win, he's probably winning MVP.
Okay.
Young Tej.
Looking forward to it. Next up, let's show an Octane tweet. This happened yesterday, I believe. Unfortunately, we had a severe injury. Chipped the entire
brother,
backside of my
Oh,
sticks.
brother.
This sticks. What happened? Break this down.
All right, guys, let me set the scene.
Okay.
So
like this.
it is a cold and windy day in Columbus, Ohio. Some board gamers. We go to the gym, play some basketball.
Where's your tooth? Which one is it?
Oh, you can't see it. It's this.
Oh, it's the backside of it. Oh, okay, okay. Well, we did get a really close.
That's an ugly face. Get out of here. Anyway, so we're playing some basketball as you do, and I think you went up for a shot or someone went up for a shot, and I jumped at the same time as Cap, and he shouldered me in the tooth, and as soon as it came down, my tongue was just all over. I was like, what is this? And my tooth is paper thin right now. Like the entire backside of it is completely gone. I
have it right here.
And I
did that to back my tooth. It was if I remember right, it was, this sounds so stupid, but it was like a pillow fight when I was a little kid or something. And
a pillow knocked you out?
Well, they put a pillow.
A pillow hit me, and like I fell and hit my face on the ground. And it's like the backside of my tooth. So I have one that's like thin on the backside. Yeah.
Hitting up the emergency dentist.
Are you okay?
After hot mic.
So you need a new tooth.
I'm risking my life being here.
But it was a teammate that did it to you.
Yeah.
Octane
leaves LG confirmed.
Cap is trying to kill me, dude.
Cap gets dropped after this weekend.
I carry him through Birmingham. Now I'm getting assaulted.
Attach, you're up next, buddy.
Oh God, what I
no, this is nothing. I want to talk to you about your lovely trip to Dublin. You guys went there before the weekend. You were tweeting out about it. We got a shot of you guys. You're dressed like an asshole.
What are you wearing?
Yeah, honestly, they're probably like, look at this American.
I like the hats.
The hats are pretty cool.
But no, what was that like? You got a little time to kind of explore?
It was pretty awesome. We were only there for probably like 20 hours. So we got there, ate some what's called fish and chips, went back to the hotel, everyone took a nap. We were going to go to the Guinness factory and kind of explore. We already bought our tickets, but after we ate, we were all sluggish, had to take a nap. We woke up later, started walking around, what's the street called? Wow, I can't think of it. Temple Bar. It's like a whole street, which kind of with bars, restaurants and stuff.
Like Bourbon Street.
Yeah. Walking around there, drinking Guinness, having a good time, just kind of exploring, seeing Dublin. But definitely wish we could have spent more time there. It's a beautiful place.
Do you guys get a chance to, obviously, we all travel a lot, but it's tough sometimes to find the extra time. I know for me, like, usually I have to get right back and do a show, or I don't have a couple extra days. Like, have you guys had a chance to go on some trips sometimes? You've gone on these adventures, different lands?
The only time
you got 20 hours. You got 20 hours.
Yeah, the only time we really have before this was at ESWC when we were there in Black Ops 3. I think.
Oh, I wasn't. Nah, I didn't have that one.
Okay.
I was there.
Everyone, I just remember it was like me. I think you were there.
Yeah.
Slacked and Scump. We all just went to the Eiffel Tower and checked out Paris a little bit.
All right. Well,
got lost.
You're young. Spend that time adventuring while you can, because eventually you get tired after you walk too much. I do want to get your guys' thoughts on one tweet. This is a censor tweet, which I found interesting.
Love Doug's tweets.
I'm going to win champs. What were your initial thoughts when you guys saw this?
Right after he beat us, I was like, he's winning champs. I was like, that's what's happening. So
I
have full confidence.
I read the tweet first.
I believe it.
And I was like, and then I read who it was from. And then I was like, okay, that makes way more sense now.
Someone just doesn't tweet that.
Yeah.
Is there any chance of Doug Censor Mario winning champs this year?
There's a chance.
Not a high one, though.
It's like 0.000.1.
I mean, he bet Donnie 10 grand that he will win an event.
There needs to be some biological warfare involved for Doug.
or maybe a team change to Lightning Panda. Suddenly, I don't know, maybe Scumps drop for Censor. No.
Doug is on my team. We're winning champs, Doug. We got it, Doug.
Facts. Doug will be gassing
up. It's like if he ends up at any of these three teams, you're winning champs.
He does grind. I respect him.
Doug is a grind.
He's always an 8, so like obviously he's kind of well off in money. So like, in order for him to get picked, he just calls someone out. I'll play for 100. That person's like, oh, 300 cash.
Well,
and
it works.
Him. Yeah.
I heard he's been playing more than like anyone. Like
he beat Crimsix for 1,000.
Yeah.
He did do that.
Beat Crimsix for 1,000.
All jokes aside, though, from Doug retiring at the beginning of this year to placing top 8, props, Doug. You're doing good.
Especially with the players you did it with.
Impressive. Yeah, what was it?
True. He's been having to jump around.
Exotic
and Royalty.
Royalty. You replaced. I remember when you replaced Proto. We were all kind of like, what?
Yeah.
But
I saw that one coming.
Go, Doug.
Got top 8 though. It seemed to work out.
Better than most.
Next up. All right. So there have been a lot of celebrations post-series in Call of Duty. I found this one interesting. We're going to take a look at Mad Cat after a series victory.
Oh, hey, this is versus us.
Nah, this is Octane, no?
Oh, no.
That's Octane. Yeah.
Bro, if I'm getting shot after I lose, I'm going to be so mad.
Bro, I watched his celebration after they beat you guys, and him and Tommy were legitimately about to kill each other.
About a fight.
Oh, the one where they like chest bumping, like running each other?
But they pushed each other.
Oh, yeah. Like, what was that all about?
That was insane. That guy's a
You're all hype.
I think that energy is a part of the reason we saw them make that run. Can we actually show that one more time in slow-mo, though?
Bang, bang.
Oh, look at that. So, you guys, scale of 1 to 10. Where do you rank this celebration from Mad Cat?
10.
Is it 10?
It won them the losers finals, apparently. They smoked us. The funny thing is, they're all three getting hype, and Jer's just packing stuff. Like,
every single time. Every single time.
Life.
I saw like 5 clips like that. Every time Jer's just like,
all right.
Yeah. And everyone else is losing their minds.
Yeah.
I guess you need the one sane one in the bunch.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's continue moving on. That'll do it for the player intel segment. I want to move on to the community questions. You know, we tweet out for every Hot Mic episode for the community to bring you guys their questions. I believe the first one with the hashtag MLG Hot Mic is going to be for Attach. Do you think Echo Fox should switch Nogafin for Saints after the showing at Birmingham?
I don't think they should switch based off just Birmingham. That team obviously has been struggling a little bit before Birmingham, like in their division and stuff, and other few events. Maybe now that they saw that Nogafin can actually play, he did pretty well at Birmingham, I believe. So maybe that now they can see that, they give him a chance on the team.
We'll see. I mean, we're going to find out in the Roster Mania, right?
Yeah.
Whether or not it's going to make a change.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
TM.
To a timeline near you.
I can't wait. I'm super fresh. My phone.
Yeah.
When I check my battery usage, it's gonna be all Twitter on my phone.
I knew this was getting picked.
For Loony, winning under 3 different Rise Nation rosters, once in Black Ops 3, once in IW, now in World War II. Which win was your favorite?
I couldn't tell you. Because, like, winning under Sam and them was after Cap dropped me. Winning under Rise in Vegas was after they left me. And then this one I won after we dropped Tyler and Yuli left me. And then we just scrambled the team.
People gotta stop believing Dan, dude.
Well, now
No, people should keep leaving me.
it works out. Well, to be fair, I mean, this team.
But I'll probably have to say this
I
one.
love this roster.
I probably have to say this one just because of the respect amongst other players. Like, people don't really respect Totinos or SC, even Vegas. Or Skinny Badosa.
No, I get it.
This one probably has like the most credibility.
There's no asterisk on that tournament. It's impossible.
Yeah, like,
I got an asterisk.
He has 3 asterisk tournaments.
Sorry.
I won all those.
Yeah, him and Jerry win the asterisk tournament.
Wait, is PSX?
Yeah.
That's asterisk?
That's not a real team.
Yes.
That don't even count.
That's the fifth one. That's the fifth one.
That's like
That's the
5
fifth
star.
one.
That's 5
I
asterisk.
got one.
Well, I saw.
I probably have to say.
Wait. Totino's is the same thing as PSX.
Basically.
No, it's not.
100%.
We made more cash.
Well, that had a prize pool of 50 grand, didn't it?
No.
No.
The thing about PSX is we went
went to
there, and
Totinos.
then when we got there, they said, "Yeah, we're not doing that the weapon class or
Yeah.
whatever."
2 asterisks.
We got food.
2 asterisks.
But no, I probably have to say Atlanta. Obviously winning in Atlanta, obviously defending Gunless in Atlanta, and then just Gunless getting dropped, Yuli leaving me, winning T-Gens in his first championships, probably up there.
Cool. Well, we'll move it along now. This one's for Octane.
Woo.
What do you think was the key reason at Birmingham you guys finally won an event? I've always waited for you to win one this season. Now I'd like to know how you did it.
Well, ex-newbie, let me tell you. Let me break it down. We won game 5. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you've got.
We won game 5.
Well, I think I saw something that oh god, it's like you, Rise, and like TK have like played the most game
That's
5s.
how you win an event. You
have the
win
highest
game 5.
I think Rise has the highest percentage. And like you're right there with him with less played or something like that.
It's
How we won Vegas.
championships.
Yeah.
It's win game 5 because you're not going to blow every team out 3-0, 3-1. If you have the ability to clutch in a game 5 situation, you're going to win the event.
And there's nothing like it, right? Like how different at a major tournament.
Once we start winning game 5,
yeah,
and
you played
would
enough
it
of
be
them.
Splice?
Hey,
We played them for top 6 in
Yeah,
Birmingham.
got smoked by
They
us.
were losing full, so we definitely would have beat them. But just
saw
gotta
it
win
out
those game
Atlanta.
I don't
5s.
know, man.
How different is it? Just maybe for viewers at home that don't have a chance to play, even for me, they don't have a chance to play on the main stage. Like how different is a game 2 versus like a game 5?
Game 2 is a swing game. Game 5 win use it serious.
Yeah, if you win
No, I mean
first
from like
map
a
in game 2,
mental, just like pressure standpoint.
over.
Like how is it? Is it much
game
harder to
5 is
play?
all your marbles in a basket.
Do your comms change at all? Like do you
yeah,
feel the nerves for sure there?
110%.
I mean, if you lose game 2, you always have game 3. If you lose game 5, you're gonna lose or something like that. Like,
you're
the
out.
series is over. You're walking away. Like
you're going a little extra hard.
Oh, definitely. That's kind of what happened with us.
Oh my God, we're done.
Splice.
Oh, I got turned on. Glad we're watching that.
I remember when you turned on Jerd. It was Valkyrie.
I remember when I turned on
You
Jerd.
turned on Jerd. I tried to get hype, and it was just shut up, Maven. I'm like, come on! Like it was a good play. He snuck in there behind you, and you still.
Oh no, I did it twice. I did it twice that map.
You did, yep, from the same position, if I remember correctly, wasn't it?
One of them was on school, and the other one was outside the bomb.
Wow. Well, you're a great player, Samuel.
Thanks.
All right, next up, there's a question for everybody. Who was the most standout player at Birmingham, and who was the most disappointing player? Is there anyone that stands out that really had? I mean,
John.
John, he got MVP.
I think Bance stands
But
out. as well.
Oh, Bance. Probably Bance just because
it
John's
was
been
John.
doing well.
I mean,
But Bance literally tweeted that was his best
Yeah.
event in years. So
John went from underperforming
Yeah.
John-
to winning the
hello.
first SMG.
John is the
MVP.
first sub to win MVP this year.
I think it's
go,
thanks to
John.
us.
Let's go, John.
It's thanks to me and Kenny and all the complaining.
Yeah, y'all got robbed.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You need someone to complain first
Listen,
for
I
a
think
sub to actually win.
there is something we can all agree on. Zinni did not deserve MVP.
Remember the hot mic after that? I think I asked if he deserved it, and they made an argument for everyone but Zinni. They're like, no, he did not. It could have been anybody else. Sorry, Methods. We do love you. You're an adorable
And then as far as disappointing player,
guy.
that one's tough.
You can't really just pick
Yeah, you can't. I
discipline.
feel like it's hard because you don't watch all the matches, so you really don't know who
Attach.
got.
Cap
say me.
sucked.
Just
Attach.
Yeah, Attach.
Cap
Just
sucked.
say me. I was putting on for the USA versus Splice, and we lost. So just
Oh, brother, Cap sucked.
Nah, yeah, disappointing is just hard.
Okay, all right, that's fine. We can move along.
Way too hard.
I don't have anything that's like jumping to my mind. I mean, I guess I'd say like I don't
You would
know,
have
maybe
to
like
look at
Rated and
someone-
Slasher, like some guys that didn't perform to their level.
Yeah,
that
give it a
kinda stood
Slasher.
out. Okay, Slasher, disappointing.
He tweeted himself. He didn't hasn't gone positive in a hard point.
Well, I'm just trying to think of like really consistent players that like didn't have that consistency. All right, another one for everyone. Who's the most annoying team, if not player, to play against and why? Is there a team that really just rustles your jimmies?
FaZe Clan.
Well, they did beat you twice
them.
in Mission Meet. Why do you think you match up poorly?
they hate
against them?
us.
I hate you fools. Because Tommy and Dylan piss me off.
Well, because there's an AR and they're always in your
They
face.
piss me off.
Sam's like, oh, they're there again.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, guys, I'm going to go over
Jerry,
here.
where you at?
Yeah, so I'm going to go over here, get set up. Oh, shit, Tommy's running around doing whatever the hell Tommy wants to do. And then if Dylan's shooting well, just two of them. And then just makes
Only
life
if they're
difficult.
shooting well.
Dylan
I
doesn't.
always shoot well.
Yeah, my bad. You're right, my bad. But nah, it's definitely FaZe or Danny. Danny's annoying too. Because he's a sub that knows the game the best. So it's like
that's high praise.
Creates an
That's
issue.
high praise.
Kind of know the
He
game.
knows it.
Anybody for you that stands out, like for Rise to play against?
As a team, I think Red.
They play. I always hear they play a little bit different than
Yeah,
everybody
as a
else.
player, it's Joe. So it's like
That's just Euro COD. Euro COD is always weird.
What is it about that makes it weird? Like, why is it different? Is it a pacing thing? Is it a setup
pacing
thing? Like,
for sure.
They're just
I don't know if you
savages.
heard Karim. He's like, if I ever play them again, I'm just gonna L trigger for an extra 3 seconds because they just mess with timings.
Their normal is not normal to us, and I'm sure it's the same way backwards. It's like they'll play maps completely opposite to how we play maps. So we're getting blown out or they're getting blown out.
Well, that used to stand out. I mean, you think back to when like Australian team made their run at champs or European teams. Like that's always been the thing. Like they play different. The pacing's different. They play search different. They're more aggressive. Blah 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 blah.
No,
So
definitely.
even though they're playing, I felt like that would go away the more they're playing against North American teams, but it's still
No, the
still
thing about
that
Red, it's like
stands out.
it's that, and it's just like they're just a really good team. So they're just annoying to play against because like it's hard to 3-0 them. Really hard to 3-0 them.
What about for FaZe? Anyone that like stands out that you guys dread playing against?
Well, definitely against Rise because we played them in Atlanta, probably in like their best maps, and we just got smoked. So that was really the only time this year where we've got like destroyed out of a series. Other than that, it's been like always super close series or we won. But versus them at Atlanta, we got smoked. So that's probably the toughest team we've played so far.
Most annoying though. Does that fall? Does toughest?
Yeah, they're
equal
most annoying. They 3-0'd us real quick.
That's annoying.
That's annoying.
I hate it. 3-0.
All right, well, guys, let's get to the final question. This will be it for the show, and I do kind of want to talk about the fact that. Oh, sorry, actually, I do want to show the schedule. What am I saying? We got to show the matches that are going to be coming up next before we show it. What am I doing? Schedule first.
30-minute series, but for who this time?
All right, so Rise United. It starts at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Storylines.
Followed by Luminosity Red, Optic Gaming Envy, and FaZe TK to close out the night. This is, this lineup's incredible.
Or always the last match.
I feel confident picking some, but I wouldn't say any are easy to pick. This is going to be incredible, and I'm excited to kick it off. But before we get there, I do want to do our last stand question. So this does sort of mark the halfway point in the season, right? Like, not exactly, but just about halfway. I know we've done 4 majors, but we're wrapping up our first stage. We have stage 2 more majors to come, COD champs. So my question to you guys, at the halfway point of the CWL 2018 season, who's had the most disappointing team thus far? I mean, I think that's fair to say. That's with their results. Is this the biggest drought?
That was the fastest answer.
This has to be the.
They have not played in a grand finals.
This has to be the biggest drought for them in the history of those 4 together, right? I mean,
they've gotten like what, top 3, right?
They got
third at
yes, they did get third. Yes, the first tournament.
That's it.
T6,
Third,
T6,
sixth,
one top 3.
Yeah, we got 4th at Dallas, and I was like, oh, our team's going to be pretty good. And then we've just been kind of playing bad at events, but good in Ohio.
You're going to be fine. You're in Ohio.
There's a lot of disappointing teams, but I think that one just stands out. I mean, they have not played in a grand finals.
What about
best Boots players ever?
Well, I know. I'm with you.
Damon said we were all screwed at the end of it.
Yeah, he was laughing at us.
Yeah.
This guy was laughing.
He's like, I don't understand these roster changes.
He got bad juju before the year even started.
But
is Optic going to win an event this year?
No.
Don't think so?
No.
I mean, in their current form, I think it's hard to argue they would.
It depends.
You know why?
Nah.
It depends.
Secrets. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
depends.
I don't know what we're talking about.
we'll have to wait and see. Any other teams?
I mean, they can
What
still win this event, obviously.
Oh, they absolutely can.
But-
I mean, when they're playing their best, they can beat anybody. But like, it's just you haven't seen.
We're being difficult. Anyone can win, man.
It's true.
Yeah.
You just show up and just shoot your gun straight.
Shoot your gun straight, win game 5, you win.
What
don't,
about
don't play the other team's best map. Shoot your gun straight or you win.
does an Envy or an LG, Envy or like a EG or
All
something
right,
too?
Envy, I guess, is disappointing to fans, but like to us pro players,
I never
we kind of expected it.
it.
Yeah,
I did. I
Just
I
'cause
said,
I
I
feel
guarantee
like-
they win an event.
They have so much skill, but they really just can't put it all together and play a smooth
like
game.
Kyler
of
They
COD.
would.
Kyler played at Halo for 2 years and then came back and then didn't. It's not a jetpack COD. It's a boot. You can't just take over like he did in AW.
Yeah.
Like he can be on the opposite side of my popping 2 pieces. You can't really do
So
that.
is it harder to be like a hard carry kind of in
Yeah.
this game
It's
versus
a lot harder to
Yeah.
dash punch in 1944. A lot harder to do that.
And then like Donnie's like his first time playing boot, and like I think he applied so much pressure. I remember they beat us in like a ghost throwback. You remember one of those throwbacks sort of thing? And he's just like the preview, stuff like that. He started like
yeah, the MW2
preview.
throwback.
Yeah.
They played it together, and they were like, COD Champs preview.
yeah,
What
stuff
was
like
their,
that.
Remember their 2K name? What was it like? COD Champs 2018.
Yeah, that pissed off Krim.
Champs,
Yeah,
that
Krim
was
got
amazing.
pissed at that one.
One of the team, I'm curious your thoughts. Like EG is a team that stood out to me. Not that I personally expected much, but they have such a good pedigree of play.
Nah, all the
obviously.
when they were formed, all the pro players knew that they weren't going to do good. They have too many
I'm not
Chiefs,
shocked.
not enough Indians.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just it's tough for me to
Like
look at
that?
those four
What
names.
was that? Wait,
Like
what
that?
Was, no, run that
Too many
back.
too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
You've never heard that
Too
before?
many leaders.
Alright,
Too many
brother.
leaders. Too many
All
leaders.
right.
It's pretty,
Nah, I got it. I didn't hear it.
Pretty common saying, Sam.
Wow, Sam.
I've never heard that in my
Expected
life.
more.
Seriously?
I
Oh
didn't-
no, it's pretty
I'll
common.
hear
I've
teach.
never heard that in my life.
Yeah, no, I've heard
Is
that.
California?
Heard that about 1,000 times.
That's a California.
Dude, Sam's probably sitting there like, dude, Dylan's a G.
Did you just make that up on the spot? Well, no,
I don't
guys,
think it was the first person ever.
it's
said
been
that.
fun.
Definitely
Octane,
wasn't.
congrats on winning Birmingham.
Good job, bro.
Hey,
Oh my
thank
God,
you.
they're
Good
excited.
shit.
Thank you for coming in and filling in.
Oh my God,
Attach.
what's up? Oh my God.
Maybe you can win a damn tournament. Maybe it's this
Thank
weekend.
God. Please before the 1,000 days, or I should
It's
quit.
the last time you won here.
You're getting mean.
Yeah.
S3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, how long?
No wonder why we love Columbus.
How long till 1,000?
It's probably like
Like-
we'll
It's a
have
couple months.
Year done. No, we'll have the year done. I think.
Towards Anaheim.
No. You were at
Longer?
9. You were at
Yeah.
900.
No, it was like in October when we won the last one at S3.
Uh-oh. You're getting mean.
It was in October.
A thousand days is not a specific.
Yeah, 1,000
year.
days is not 3 years, dude.
No, but I'm just saying. 3 years, 1,000. I'm thinking 1,000 days. I'm thinking
guy's
1,000
getting
days.
mean.
Yeah,
Well, 1,000 days is soon.
gonna be
That's like a couple months.
Like July,
I know,
right?
but all the turns will
Yeah.
be done, and I have to win one before then.
No, I think champs will be your or S2 playoffs if you make it there.
This guy's
That's in Ohio.
getting, bro.
Yeah, he's be fun.
He's getting memed.
You, Loony, thank you for coming
No
on. as well.
problem.
Hey, it's been fun. But guys, I hope you enjoyed Hot Mic. We're all here for the top 8 teams in the world competing for 500 grand. It's time to get the matches started.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Peace.
I hate all of you.